Another story that's been kind of going around a little bit, and we haven't paid any attention to it yet, is this race for president of Fresno State University, student body president.
Student body president, yes.
And this is kind of causing a little bit of controversy out there. We had a young woman, conservative, running for the student body president, and it kind of looks like nobody likes conservatives out there.
Well, she feels like she got unfair treatment. She doesn't feel like it was a level playing field for her against the other candidates running for student body president at Fresno State.
Well,
and she feels kind of like she was targeted a bit.
Well, she had run-ins, and of course these run-ins caused publicity, and the publicity wasn't necessarily good publicity. And if you see bad publicity about a candidate, you might think, well, I'll just vote for somebody else. Because I don't know what all this means, but it doesn't look good.
Although in this case, it seems like she had, several instances of bad publicity. Maybe it just all was nothing. It's like if you have too many controversies, people forget what the controversy is.
Yeah, there were several things that happened here. The first thing was she got an endorsement from newly elected Assemblyman David Tangipa.
That's right.
He's the guy who took Jim Patterson's seat in the Assembly. And that doesn't seem like any kind of violation to me, but I don't know anything about the rules for running for student body president at Fresno State. Apparently, that's not allowed.
No, you cannot. This is the dumbest rule I've ever heard, by the way. You can't receive endorsements from anybody that's not within Fresno State. And so an endorsement from an assemblyman, which is a pretty great endorsement to get at any level, by the way, at Fresno State, you've got to say no thank you to it, because that assemblyman, even though he played on the football team and he's an alumni and a graduate of Fresno State, and he backed Measure E for you and was very public about that too.
Which wasn't necessarily great for him.
Your answer is to say no thank you. This is the dumbest rule I have ever heard. It's like somebody running for Fresno County Supervisor, and the rules being, but you can't get endorsements outside of Fresno County. Are you joking? What if she got an endorsement from the President of the United States? You're going to say no? This is dumb. You need to reevaluate your rules.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't get it.
There are some things in here that I can understand from Fresno State's point of view, but this is dumb. At first they approved it, then she posted the endorsement, and then they reneged it.
Yeah, it's when I read this, didn't make any sense to me. I was thinking, like, why can't you do that? But then I thought, well, I don't know anything about the rules for running for a student body president.
Yeah, but you don't have to know anything. It doesn't make sense.
No, but I'm just saying. I thought, well, maybe there's a reason for this.
Is there a possible rational reason?
Well,
because you're running for Fresno State, so therefore anybody not within the Fresno State, the community supports Fresno State. You've got a lot of issues out there. You came to the taxpayers of Fresno County and asked us to give you Measure E because your facilities are falling apart. Your athletics needs the money. You need help from this community. And so somebody goes and gets an endorsement from the community, and then you say no?
Yeah, well,
this is why nobody wants to give you money.
Like I say, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I don't know why this would be a rule, but it made me think, why would there be a rule like that? And I thought, well, maybe the rule is that you're running for student body president. Everything should be about what's happening here on campus. We just want to hear about campus issues, and we don't see any reason for like an endorsement for somebody that isn't directly involved in campus activity.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something.
That's
right?
a stupid argument.
Yeah.
If that's your argument, Fresno State, it's a dumb one.
Yeah, well, I don't attribute it to them because I just was trying to figure it out.
I'm just saying that I can't see an argument that is rational to this particular issue for this candidate. And this is kind of how things started out for her.
Yeah, now I asked myself, okay, so now this is like one of the first things that happened.
Yeah, they flip-flopped.
And so did this damage her?
I don't know, but it sure aggravated her, don't you think?
Yeah, I know, but I'm just trying to think, is there any damage to a story like this if somebody, because the student paper was carrying a lot of stories about this race, it's something they cared about.
Sure.
And so if people, first thing, they only got 13% of people voting, students voting on this, which they said was high. higher than normal. Okay, so
It is a commuter school. I don't know. That's the answer we always get.
Well, the thing is, so I don't know how many people cared about this at all, right? So like 90% of the people don't even care.